Hello friends, welcome to Raj Academy. I hope all of you must have started preparation for Tamil Nadu Assistant Professor's examination. I get a lot of queries that some student they want to just go through some study material and get through this examination. One of the most important thing you have to understand is that the exam is going to be conducted as but two papers they are going to be. First paper you have 25 marks of Tamil examination, Tamil question paper, that is Tamil basic Tamil, and another 25 questions on current affairs, and the remaining 50% descriptive questions on the core subject, that is for English literature. Same way for paper 2 you will have 50 marks MCQ questions and the remaining 50 marks on descriptive questions on the core paper, that is for English literature. Now, just by going through the some study material, you are not going to get through this examination. And this whole descriptive examination, including MCQ, will be conducted in the format of what the Bloom's taxonomy talks about, right? So we should have some basic knowledge, understanding, analysis, evaluation, creativity. In that format, even the descriptive questions would be asked. And to write descriptive essays, 250 words to 350 words, one must master the subject. Without going through political, social, ideological, moral and historical, the background information, it would be very difficult for one to write a descriptive essay, because different levels of questions could be asked. If we go by the paper, we don't know exactly if they would follow Bloom's taxonomy. Even if they don't follow Bloom's taxonomy, at least to write those type of detailed questions, descriptive answers, where your analysis of the questions plays a very important role. So just going through some summaries, some basic gist of the work will not help. One must understand the political, social, ideological backdrop in which the work was written. In a sense, we must know, for example, if you take works like Dr. Faustus, one must know why Dr. Faustus or Shakespeare's Hamlet is called as a Renaissance play or the play of Reformation. Or in the same way, if you go through some of the writings of Alexander Pope and Dr. Johnson, we get shocked by showing the moral neoclassical perspective. So what were the reasons why such perspective appeared? What were the political, social reasons why such novels or the drama or the poetry? Across genres you can see, whether you take Alexander Pope's Rape of the Lock or novels like Pamela, Clarissa, Tom Jones, or even works like the poems of Dr. Johnson like London or Vanity of Human Wishes. In the same way, if you come to the 18th century, you must know the political social backdrop to understand why Jane Austen's characters represent the issues of women around the Regency era. So you will see a sea of difference between Jane Austen's portrayal of women and that of another 30-40 years later portrayal of women by writers like Dickens or like George Eliot. And you advance further, another 30-40 years later, Thomas Hardy's portrayal of women. So there's a sea of difference between portrayal of Sue or Bathsheba and that of Anne Elliot or Elizabeth Bennet, or in between like characters like Dorothea in Middlemarch. So without going through the political, social and ideological backdrop in which these novels were written, we will never be able to understand the Victorian age or whether romantic or neoclassical age. And to master that, one must go through all these details, not just the biographical details, but the other political and historical details. Then only you will be able to write a very detailed essay. And next comes writing a detailed essay, and the argument which you are going to present is going to be very important one. You can't simply write summary everywhere. For all such reasons, a detailed, thorough preparation of the work is required. You could apply the same thing even for criticism, I would suggest. If you come to 20th century criticism, you look at T.S. Eliot, I.A. Richards and F.R. Lewis heralded a new way of looking at life and looking at literature. But do you think suddenly Eliot and I.A. Richards or a painter like Picasso got up and decided to write a different kind of a critical work or a poetry or a painting suddenly? No. Without going through the repercussions and social political history of 1890s, it will be very difficult for you to understand why Eliot wrote Wasteland or why he wrote Traditional Individual Talent, and why 30 years ago Matthew Arnold could not pursue life or literature in the same perspective. Yeah, so keeping this in mind, please remember there's no shortcut. And particularly, I would like to advise our older sibling, those who have given up literature for the last 15 to 20 years. You are going to have a very tough time, because our youngsters are going to write quite well, I guess. Yeah, because they must be habitual in writing 20 pages or 30 pages answer script, and they must be thorough with the subject. And those who have given up, please remember, those who have not mastered the subject in the last 10 to 15 years, please, you have to put your effort. Now the younger siblings of us, our brothers and sisters, they are going to challenge all of you. So kindly start the serious preparation. You are welcome to join Raj Academy to master that and crack this exam. Thank you.